Welcome. This is Joshua Benoist in Autodesk Product Support. This is video 1, and the customer has asked a question: does RevitMEP have a 18-inch butterfly valve? So it's an interesting question because we do have a butterfly valve, but the size range does not go up to 18-inch. So what do? We do not have a separate piece of content, and our content in RevitMEP is all parametric, so you wouldn't really have a second butterfly valve just for an 18-inch. You would go into the existing family and add the 18-inch size. So let's do that. We're going to go up to File. We're going to say Open, and we're going to scroll down here on the left until we see the Imperial Library. Click that folder. Go click on Pipe. Click on Valves. And here, click on Butterfly Valves. Here's our butterfly valve, and it says 2 through 12-inch. Alright, so we're going to open that family, and it opens it up in Family Editor. So you can see the valve here, and the stem, and the connections. Here's probably the overall height of that. And what I usually do, in this view, I don't have a good feel for the parametric dimensions used in how this thing's built. So I usually switch on a floor plan. There we go. So here I can see that we've got reference planes and dimensions, the parameters that go into making this part, at least in plan view. What we're missing from the plan view is the elevation view. So we don't see the parameters and the dimensions that control this body in elevation. Also, as we zoom in, you'll notice that a lot of these radius dimensions tend to cover up our body. Makes it real hard to see. So after you kind of get a feel for some of these other dimensions and the reference planes, you can select on this. It doesn't really move out of the way. You'll notice that it rotates, but it doesn't. It's kind of hard to move out of the way. So what can we do about it? Well, down here is a little filter button. Looks like a sunglass. Click that. Click on Hide Category. So now we can actually see the valve body itself in plan view. Now let's go look at an elevation view, and I'll just start with the front. So here most of our dimensions are off to the side, and it allows us to see the reference planes. Here's the valve body. This right here is the valve stem. Here's the round body with the connections. And the dimensions are off to the side, which is nice. So we can see overall height, connection height. And sometimes it's good to tile these views in here so that we can see this whole thing, kind of get the bigger picture. So the next thing you would want to do is go into the family types. And in here, within the overall family, these are all the subtypes. And these types basically are a different size. So notice, as I use my keyboard, and I'm going to tab up and down, you can see that the dimensions are changing. So what we need to do is basically start a new family type by clicking this button. And we'll say 18-inch. Click OK. And you'll need to go in, find a manufacturer's cut sheet out of a catalog somewhere, and put in the values here. Most of the time these values match. So sometimes you have to work backwards. We have an 18-inch nominal diameter. It's using a formula over here, so you wouldn't type the value in because it's being calculated. But up here, you might type in 9-inch. Hit the Enter key. Notice that the formula updates this value down here. So for other things like the lever length, you could probably get that out of the catalog. The whole radius, the whole distance, the connector height, the body length.